Okay, if everybody's good, I'll call the meeting to order for the Orange County Industrial Development Agency for January 15th, 2025. The time is 5:23 p.m. And I'll ask Bill to do the roll call, please.
Jeffrey Christ.
Here.
Dean Tamburri.
Here.
Dr. Vincent Odock.
Yes.
Susan Walski.
Here.
Linda Muller.
Here.
Giovanni Palladino.
Here.
6 of our 7 members are present. As for staff, myself, Bill Fioravanti, Kelly Riley, Marty Barras. We have our General Counsel, Lino Sciaretta here, our New York State Monitor, Brian Sandvidge, and Billy Iverson handling AV for us.
Very good, thank you. And I'll point out the proof of notice is in our meeting packet, and this meeting was duly, properly noted. The minutes for the December 18th, 2024 meeting are in your packet. Any additions, corrections? Motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the minutes for the December meeting. Is there a second to that motion? By Doc Odock. Thank you. Unless there's something else, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. And moving on to our reorganization meeting, which is customary each January for the IDA board. Bill, would you brief us on
All the same resolutions as last time. All of our officers for the board, myself, the CEO, our external CFO, RVT, records officer Kelly Riley, with me as an appeals officer, and we have the banks that we are able to deposit in that all ensure collateralization of our cash in our official newspaper. So all up for your approval.
Any questions, comments? Anyone care to make a motion to accept that slate of resolutions?
I'll make the motion to accept the slate of resolutions for reorganization as presented.
Okay,
All right.
you second?
Second.
By Doc Odock. Thank you, Susan and Doc. Any other discussion there? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried 6-0 with 1 absence. My IDA chairman appointments, I'll start with Governance Committee. Linda Muller, Chair. Myself, Dean Tamburri, Dr. Vince Odock, and Giovanni Palladino. On Finance Committee, Mark Green, the Chair. Myself, Dean Tamburri, Linda Muller. And Audit Committee, Susan Walski, Chair, Dean Tamburri, Mark Green. Unless anyone has a comment there, we'll move forward. And next item up is my chairman's report. And I put some thought into this with wrapping up the year 2024 and starting the new year 2025 for the IDA board. And on behalf of the board, I'd like to sincerely thank our staff, Bill, Kelly, and Marty. It's been very nice to work with each of you, and your dedication, hard work, and best efforts to stay positive dealing with some of the many challenges we have. So thank you for your hard work as we enter a new year and get to do it again. And I point out accomplishments include the new website is up and running. We're fine tuning things a little bit. The UTEP adjustments is very close to being done and should be approved in the next month. The shovel-ready projects, we got 1 grant. We're hopeful of another one soon, which was applied for last year. And I think we have some exciting things to look forward to in 2025. Board members, having communicated with each of you this last week, I appreciate your focus, your interest, your ideas. With me new this year as chairman and Linda as a new board member, we changed to new council. We introduced Brian from the monitor. I see us bringing together fresh ideas, a growing ability to work together for the best outcomes for the IDA. And thank you also. Our team includes consultants, the monitor, who I just mentioned, have all been part of these improvements and positive outcomes. I look forward to hearing from all of you on new goals to accomplish in collaboration with staff for 2025. And I think a busy pipeline of potential projects looks promising. The shovel-ready, as I mentioned, fine-tuning websites. I know a couple of you had comments on tweaks to that possibly. The UTEP finalization in the revised form, and an updated employee handbook. And that's my report, unless anyone has a question.
I have a comment.
Oh, okay.
As the newest board member, I just want to say how pleased I am with how this organization functions. There's a lot of swirling that some folks still have about the way the old organization was run.
Yeah.
It is not. This organization is committed to the growth and the prosperity of Orange County through great job creation and ratables. And for that, I want to thank all my board members for their hard work and dedication, and know that we will be singular in our focus regardless of what else is out there. Our job will be to continue the hard work that you have all done, and it is my privilege to be able to sit at the table and work with you. So thank you for that opportunity.
Well said, thank you.
Yeah, well said. Moving on to CEO report, please.
Yes, just a few things in addition to my written report that's in your packet. First of all, we are looking for you to return those ethics forms. You don't have a folder in front of you, Kelly, right? The blue folders that she'd given out, it's okay, just I think we're just expecting a couple more. So it's both your forms such as your certificate of independence, acknowledgement of independence, and those come back to us, and then the ethics or the ethics review that goes to the county, you remit that to them directly. Any problems, questions, please reach out to Kelly or myself and we'll answer them. So we're good there. As Jeff said, we did launch our new website. I have gotten some feedback, including constructive criticism, which I appreciate. Keep it coming. Sue, you and I are gonna talk about your comments. Thank you for sharing those. We had to launch it. We knew that we're gonna come up with some things that we're gonna see after the fact that we wanna improve. So we are still working with the web developer to smooth things out and make improvements as we see them. And we do have budgeted this year for some refinement of that website, maybe adding some new features that we're gonna come up as a result of the feedback that we'll get. So still working on that, but I hope you had a chance to check it out because it is a nice new site. Jeff and I will also be going to the New York State EDC conference February 11th and 12th, and Lino and his team will be there as well, so we're excited to go to that with them. We'll certainly report back to you after that. And lastly, we are, as of our last governance committee meeting, I handed out binders with copies of a set of personnel policies, a set of agency policies that we're looking for you to review. Personnel policy is one of them that Linda has been working on reviewing and that our council has now. One of Lino's associates.
Partnership.
Partners, thank you. One of his partners that focuses in that area is gonna be reviewing it as well. So that's great. But I do wanna remind governance committee members to look through that binder, review those policies, and we are gonna be scheduling our governance committee meeting. We're still working on schedules. Jeff's gonna get to that. But at our February meeting, we'll be looking to get your feedback on those policies so we can move forward with those. That's really everything I had to add.
Any comments, questions for Bill?
Question,
Yes, Susan?
are you gonna be going to the Association of Towns annual meeting?
I haven't gone to that in a few years. I do go pretty regularly to the monthly meetings so that I can stay in touch with all the municipal leaders. I haven't been sure that it's a great use of my time and our resources for it. Do you have feedback on that?
Well, the one in New York City
Yes.
is, that's the entire state that's down
It is,
there, so
right.
it's much bigger, and I think it's probably not so much as feedback with the individual towns and municipalities, but meeting the different vendors that go to that,
Okay,
cause there might be some connections that can be made that way.
okay.
I'll say, just to echo some of that, the EDC, which is, in February and also in May, a lot of those vendors that also show up at Association of Towns also do show up at EDC. So there is a little bit of overlap, but that's one of the best reasons why to go, just to see who's out there, who does this kind of work, and who can help, the organization in terms of, what we need. But,
Right.
so you do have overlap with EDC and the Association of Towns.
Yeah, that's a good point, and it's a good point about the vendors. I really was focusing on, when I analyzed it, the meetings that are held, of our own local municipalities, because those are the ones I'm trying to stay close to. It is a little bit more social down there, I noticed when I was there.
Yeah.
Than I was looking for,
It can
not as
be.
business focused, but I will consider that, I'll take another look at that.
I would see what trainings are offering, because there might be ways to connect with people who are offering the trainings.
Okay, all right, I'll take a look at that.
Yeah, thank you for that thought.
I appreciate that.
Susan?
Hey, Bill, I didn't get a binder last month because I wasn't here.
Oh, that's right, I have it for you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good point.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you for that report, Bill. Moving on to committee reports, we have Finance Committee, and I led that meeting in our chairman of the committee's absence, Mark Green. And a couple of highlights there on the financial statement. The management fee was doubled up from the funding corp to the IDA because of the year end, where it would normally carry over into January. We had some extra professional fees. But if anyone has a question there, the deferred comp that we agreed to last month showed up in the December financials. We'll talk about the CD approval in a few moments. The expenses were pretty much according to plan. If I'm missing anything, speak up. I'll report later on the staff compensation discussion from executive session. Any questions for me or the committee
So
on the financials?
just, Bill, if you had taken out the cost of the monitor, we would have been ahead of the game, right? Right. On the budget, the way I'm understanding
I
it,
haven't done those math, but
I don't think quite.
no?
I doubt it, because our,
There's the bottom line, and I get 240, I believe, this year total.
is the monitor 121,
Yeah,
is
but
that line
that's it,
item?
yeah. It
Yeah.
certainly had an impact,
Staff full loss, for sure. It was just a very slow year for revenue. And I've said this before, but my IDA colleagues, I meet with them regularly from around the region, and most of them had the exact same experience. 2024 was a slow year, interest rates, looming election, a few other things were factors there. A little bit dynamic and, little different dynamic in Rockland, so I don't know. Yeah, but for most of my other colleagues, that was the case. So and we have a strong pipeline, I will tell you that for sure, though, so I'm hoping for a different year, for sure, once they all start to click.
any other questions on Finance Committee? We'll approve the details here in a few moments under new business. We good, everybody?
Yes.
On old business, just a quick UTEP update, please, Bill?
Sure, yes. We were originally planning to have you adopt the UTEP, the new UTEP, the revised UTEP, in its three parts. The project approval policy, the UTEP itself, and then the recapture policy. We're gonna do that this month, but you'll recall in last governance committee meeting, Lino's partner Rudy actually had some good feedback for us and some typos and some other things he wanted to clean up. When we made those adjustments, we were within 30 days of adoption. We need to provide at least 30 days notice to all the affected taxing jurisdictions, so we are already kind of disqualified to do it on January 15th, once we made those final changes. But I'm glad we did, we wanted to incorporate them. So we are scheduled for, right now the meeting is February 19th. We have looked at, as you all know, tweaking that. I'm not sure that we're going to, I'll let Jeff get to that. But we're still, whenever that February meeting is, we're expecting adoption of the UTEP then. We do have a public hearing for feedback on the UTEP on January 28th. That's Tuesday at 11 a.m. here. Lastly, I'm very grateful of our relationship with Orange Ulster BOCES. They are a conduit to the school districts. I've presented to the school superintendents, multiple times in the past at BOCES forum. Last Friday, once they got our notice, on the UTEP, I did receive some calls from BOCES saying that they were getting questions from their members. So I, kind of impromptu, I presented to the business officers of the various local school districts last Friday. This Friday, I'm presenting on the UTEP to the superintendents again. So we have a chance for a really good dialogue. It's been very constructive, very positive. Again, I really value and appreciate that forum that BOCES provides for us. So we'll be doing that. And I also want to thank Buske Holstein, who really helped draft this originally, Bleakley Platt for their work of editing it, and Marty and Kelly for their work. Marty, really, it was a heavy load doing all the notices to all the affected taxing jurisdiction, over 50 of them, and Kelly scheduling the public hearing. So I just appreciate everyone's support in getting that done, but we are at the finish line.
Questions for Bill? And the public hearing will be later this month.
January 28th at 11 here, yep.
And the board does not have to attend, I plan to
Will that
attend.
be live streamed?
It will be, definitely, yep. Acquisitions will be handling that.
Is that the one that was canceled, or the one was canceled?
One was canceled was for our last project that we induced, SWF Development, also known as Sky Harbor. There was an error in the location, the section block and lot number for where their project site is. So we have to revise the public hearing notice. We need to provide enough notice of that, so we're gonna reschedule that, actually. We haven't come up with that final date yet, but that will be rescheduled likely sometime in February.
Moving on to new business, the December 2024 financials, as well as the December, January payables. I discussed in the committee report. The committee recommended approval by the full board. We need to take action on those things right now by motion, if anybody is so inclined.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Giovanni, a second to that motion.
Second.
By Dean, thank you. Any other questions there? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. On the certificate of deposit, we had one that matured a few days ago. And that one was for $5 million. And similarly, the committee recommends, including the committee chair, advised going with Lakeland on a 9-month at 3.85%. But in order to have some additional funds in our checking account, we recommend doing a $4,700,000 CD, and keep $300,000 of the $5 million one that matured in our checking account. Any questions on that? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Do you need a motion?
Yes, I do.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Linda,
I'll second.
second by Susan, thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same, motion carried. And similar to Funding Corp, the recurring bills and insurance invoices.
Yeah,
Bill,
same, we're looking for your approval to pay IDA recurring bills, as well as our insurance invoices that come due.
I'll make the motion.
motion by Susan, second to that motion. Second by Dean. Any other questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same, motion carried. And this next item, we'll table.
Yes, I introduced it to you in OCFC. I'd like to have it discussed at length with our chair, our finance committee chair in February, and then we'll bring it back to the full board for your blessing.
Very good. Looking at the 2025 meeting schedule, I believe at the back of your packet are the meeting dates proposed so far through June 2025, last page 25 in my packet. And one question that came up in next month's meeting on the 19th of February, one board member had a conflict. We tried to move it a week later to the 26th, but we found another board member had a conflict. So Bill and I think, are suggesting we stick with the 19th.
Yeah, I think that's best. I'd love to accommodate everyone, but it's one or the other, so I think it makes more sense to stick with what we've posted and have scheduled, what's in everyone's schedule.
I'm just to communicate, open to changing meeting dates as long as it benefits the total group. And this one, it didn't appear to do so. And as far as governance, what are we thinking?
We'll likely, we'll schedule that for, I'll confirm it with everyone, but for earlier that day, 3 PM on the 19th.
So you're not having it, you're not gonna have it on the 12th then?
I don't, no.
Okay.
Not unless we can't get everybody there for the 19th.
You know, I'm out the 19th, so.
Jeff and I,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry
sorry
about
about
that,
that, but
Chief.
Jeff and I
No
are
problem.
not available the 12th either.
But we would like your input if you can,
Yep.
give us some input ahead of time on any of those
Great.
issues. And then in my conversations one-on-one with everybody, I explored other times of the month for meeting, but really didn't come up with anything, so right now I'm recommending the rest of the year we fill out with the third Wednesday of each month. I went through the calendar, I didn't see any obvious holiday conflicts or whatever. I don't know if you, Lena, Brian, if that looks okay, that's kind of been our history, and we thought we might find a better date for everybody, but this still seems like
It's tough.
the best ones. So, should we take some action on those meeting dates as far as the ones that aren't set yet? Does that take board approval or not?
If you're gonna set the third Wednesday of each month, just a simple motion to authorize that the board will meet, and you're talking about just the ID at this point, correct?
ID and that OCFC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so to set the third Wednesday of each month as the meeting dates
Yeah.
for OFC and IDA. That was
The
the
rest
motion
of
For the rest of calendar year 2025.
Yes.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Linda, second to that motion.
I'll second the motion.
Susan, thank you. Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried.
Kelly and I will update that calendar and distribute it to everyone, so you have the full 2025 calendars.
And
Yeah, definitely, I'll send it to you.
I didn't include in that motion the governance, but maybe that doesn't require a meeting if we change, or a board vote.
It's scheduled at the 12th, we're just gonna reschedule it.
That's
so-
fine, yeah.
Okay.
It's okay, you don't need to do that.
We know we need it, and we're just trying to find out the best way to do it, so.
And then, Mr. Chair, I'd like to talk about getting a standing committee meeting for governance on the calendar. One
Okay.
that we can plan for.
Yeah.
I think governance needs to take a little bigger role as we
Yeah.
move forward.
It's picking up, so absolutely true. I like to work with you on those days too,
Sure.
so, okay.
Makes sense, thank you, Linda. And other than discussion of staff compensation, is there anything else that needs to come before us today? So I would ask for a motion to discuss staff compensation for the board in executive session.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Giovanni, second to that motion.
Second.
Dean, thank you. Any other discussion there? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. I will say we'll come back out of executive session into the live stream and take any action there in a little bit. I don't know if we need Marty and Kelly anymore tonight.
Are you gonna come out, are they taking minutes, or you already?
We'll tell her, I'll just share who the motions are, yeah, and the time.
Yes. Very good. We're in executive session, please, Billy. Welcome back, everybody, to the Orange County IDA meeting for January 15th. The time is now 5:54, and we're ready to vote to come out of executive session. If any board member would care to make that motion.
Make the motion.
Motion to come out of executive session by Susan, second by Dean. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. And would like to make a motion on staff compensation of 5% increase for each of our 3 staff members.
That's the motion.
Cover it? Would anyone care to make that motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Giovanni, second by Linda. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. And not seeing any other business for tonight, if everybody agrees, we can take a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Motion.
Motion by Susan, second by Dean. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Meeting adjourned. The time is 5:55. Thank you all for being here. Happy New Year, and